Hey there, if you find yourself spending way too much time with potential customers that are tire kickers through your lead generation efforts, you're going to absolutely love this video. I'm going to show you in less than 50 minutes how to qualify or disqualify potential leads so that you spend the time with customers that are actual buyers and actual customers that actually become customers of yours. All right. Now we're going to use a framework, and the framework is called BANT. I can't say that I invented it. It was actually came out since the 1960s by IBM. But basically, BANT is a sales qualification framework that enables you to determine how good a fit of each prospect is based on their budget, B, A for authority to make a purchasing decision. Right? We also want to evaluate the need for a product or service and the purchase timeline. So I'm going to go through each one of these steps, each one of these letters in a second to explain to you a little bit deeper about what I mean by each of these. Well, the first one is budget. Okay, now, even though this is not the place I usually start, because I find, getting right into budget right off the bat can sometimes turn prospective prospects off, it is a very important question that you need to establish. Can they afford your product or service, right? It's no point trying to sell a $2 million house to somebody who's only been pre-approved for $1 million, for example. Or it's no point trying to send a $10,000 website to somebody who can only afford a couple of $1,000s to get a website built. So you want to make sure that in that phone call you want to find out, can they afford the product or service that you're offering? Okay. The next thing is authority. Are you speaking to the person of authority? Is this the decision maker? Are there other decision makers that need to have an input on that decision for you? Okay. So you want to make sure that you're doing your presentation, your pitch. And when you bring them in to make sure that you actually present your product, you want to have all the necessary parties there. Okay. The last thing you want to do is to try to for example, a husband a house where it's a husband and wife decision, or there's somebody else in that decision process. You want to make sure that you have all people of authority present at the time of doing your presentation. The next one is need. This is where I usually start off, actually. The reason why people usually talk to me is because they have a need for one of the products or services that we offer. Rather, whether it's lead generation, website design, automation, setting up your CRM, or, whatever the services that we have, they usually come to us with a need. And my conversation usually starts off by doing a needs assessment to find out, do they have a need for a product or service that we offer, and which product or service exactly I would recommend to them based on their needs. And then last but not least, timeline, right? This used to be a question that I used to use that to disqualify people at the beginning, saying, somebody's looking to get started with marketing, but they need to wait for the next quarter to get started. Very often I found myself making that mistake in the beginning, is disqualifying them. But what I did later on was I put them into what's called a nurture sequence. So maybe they don't need to get my service right now, but I can put them through a follow-up sequence, whether we do it through email or text messaging, or even just on social media, where I just stay top of mind to them over the next couple of months, that once I understand when are they looking to make a decision, I can qualify. I almost always qualify them. If they're looking to make a decision anytime within right now, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or even a year out. I have different sequences that I put them on to make sure that we stay in contact and I become the person that they go to when they're looking for that decision. So you want to establish on that timeline, what is the time frame for implementing that solution? Okay. Once you have those 4 things figured out, you can then decide, hey, what am I going to do with this lead? It makes your CRM become so much more useful because you can put people down different paths. All right. So I highly recommend trying it out. Get in the habit of whenever you're going to speak to a customer for the first time, just write down that acronym on a piece of paper or in your phone, BANT. And while you're having a conversation with them, just make sure you ask questions accordingly to go through these different steps. Now, if you do want to have further questions about this, don't hesitate to reach out. My name is Preston Martelly. I run a digital marketing agency. I'm here in Montreal, Canada. And you can find us at joblogics.ca. If you have a particular question, feel free to reach out by phone, 613-800-6951. Till then, happy marketing and best of luck. Bye.